Standard 3D PT. So for this electron orbital model, this is something you could 3D print, and the file is available on Perusa printer, so I'll include a link below. And the way this works for electron orbitals is that there's different shells. There's an S, P, D, and F shell. And electrons fill in order from S to P to D and F in sequencing. And I've always had an issue with trying to remember this, so I actually made this 3D manipulative board to show that. And so you need 118 of these 16mm marbles that you can get from any dollar store. And so you got a whole bag of them here. And for this video, I actually color coordinated them, just to make it a little more user-friendly. And the way this works is that every element has a certain number of protons and electrons. So hydrogen would have one electron, and it's in the first s orbital, and in the first one, so this is 1s1. Helium would be 1s2. Lithium is 2s1. Beryllium is 2s4. And then from there it goes up into the P's. And so in the P shell you have boron and carbon, so that's 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 for carbon. And this, if you notice here, there's a big gap here. This is why carbon is such a great organic compound, because it has plenty of space to bind to other elements. All the elements are trying to fill their outermost shell here to the 6th position. And so on the video you'll see a note here for every noble gas when it gets to this point. Within the D and F blocks, you'll see a lot of exceptions to the electron orbital rule. And I highlighted this by showing the element and then pointing at the individual exceptions. And that's because sometimes the electrons are close enough that they'll actually go into the s orbital over here, or they'll trade off with something in the p orbitals. And so when I do that, I'll show you those exceptions. And I reference all this off ptable.com, and I'll include another link below. So if you want to follow along, you can. If you want to print this entire set, again, I'll include the STL below. The print time of this will be about 24 hours for the whole set. And to do the different color changes, I also just had some bits of filament from samples that I included and just swapped in. So you can print in multiple colors like this, and I like having a darker base with a lighter background just so it gives you that contrast in the lettering. Marbles, these are standard 16mm marbles that you could get at any kid section of a dime store or anything like that. Probably about $5 worth of marbles, and I did color coordinate them, so I kind of sorted them out. You can do what you want with those. And I'm going to have other manipulatives online soon, so you can check below for teachers, paid teachers, for links for that information. And you'll also notice that electrons have a spin to them. And so the way it goes is that it always fills the up spin blocks first, and then the down spin blocks. And so this manipulative has this as well. And so in the case of the p orbital shell, the first 3 are always up and the last 3 are always down. And so this manipulative is designed so that when you put a marble there, it'll hide it'll show you what the orbital position is, as well as the spin of that location. And so s orbitals are the same thing. First one's up, second one's down. And I'll make sure these files are revised here. I think I forgot to do that on